So this is going to be a really challenging experiment for me. One lens, one camera, no filters, no tripod. Let's see what we get. So I'm going to go for photographing this river birch and getting in as close as I can with this 16 to 50 millimeter crop sensor lens. I'm going to give you some more stats on everything that I'm using, but so this is what I'm going for right there.
So here in the Kansas City area, we have lots of river birch. They grow around streams, creeks, and rivers. They also have this unique quality to each and every one of them. Their bark is totally different as it flakes. This is the raw image straight out of the camera that we're using for this challenge. I did a little bit in post to bring up the shadows, the highlights, to get the tonal qualities back that I was seeing in the field. The raw image is not that bad, but raw images are always flat. So you have to do something to bring them back to life. That's why I call it making a photograph instead of taking a photograph. There are two steps: what you acquire in the field and what you bring back to life in the darkroom, digital or analog. Tell me what you think in a comment down below.
Okay, so I'm sure by now you guys are curious as to what camera is doing all the video and all the photos you're seeing. So you're not going to see the camera and you're not going to see me walking unless I'm walking and talking to it. Yeah. So what we've got in my hand is the Nikon or Nikon, depending on what part of the world you're in. Us in the States seem to pronounce things a little bit differently than everyone else. It's the Z or Z FC. This is a crop sensor. I'm used to shooting with a full frame. I've been doing that for quite a few years now. But I'm looking for kit that's lightweight, easy to use for videography and photography. So this video is kind of a test for me to see if this is the kit that I want to use. So I've got on it the 16 to 50 millimeter variable aperture lens, and it's a kit lens. Just doesn't have 2.8 or 1.8, which would be handy and nice. But so far, I'm thinking it's doing pretty good. I'm also challenging myself not to look at the photos in the field and to do everything through the viewfinder with the touchscreen closed. Kind of a nod to the old film photography that I used to do, because the camera reminds me of a film photography camera. I love all the tactile buttons and dials. It takes you back to those film days. Wow. For it being almost midday here in Parkville, it's not too bad. We've got a pretty good overcast going, so it's knocked it down. It's definitely fall. Feels like it might be the mid-50s today, right now. So far I found some intimate stuff. I really came out with no preconceived notions of what I was going to photograph or video. It was just the challenge of one lens, one camera, no tripod, no filters, and no video camera. What all can I do on this one small setup? So I'm going to show you some of the photos that I've made so far on this little hike. I will show you the raw and then the post-processed, and go over my thoughts and feelings about them at the desk.
Here we have another example of a Missouri stream or river tree. This is a sycamore, slightly different than a river birch. They have an ivory underneath them when you get down into the layers of the peeling of the bark. This here's the raw, of course, fairly flat and a little bit hazy in my mind, but it was really humid that day. So I did a little bit of post-processing. I dehazed, brought up the white point and lowered the black point just a little bit to give it a little bit more contrast. What do you guys think? Let me know. I know it's a lot of bark in one video, but fall hasn't really fully hit here yet. We're still hoping that it will happen without all the leaves disappearing. So for my third composition on this 2-mile hike on the day, I framed up this composition of a tree grove between the river and the walking path in Platte Landing Park. I've always found this one interesting. It works better when there's fog. Here again, I had to do some work in post because we had a really good overcast going, so the shadows were pretty much gone, but they still had detail there, which was really cool. That's something I like about this camera. It's got enough dynamic range in a single photo that I can bring out the shadows and bring life back into them, some detail in there. You gotta have some detail in the cell. Let me know what you think of this one down below. It's better on a morning when there's fog in the scene. So for the last composition of the day, I did some focus stacking. You got the foreground in focus on the left side, and on the right, you've got the background in focus. The goal here was to get the Parkville art sign in focus, as well as the detail in the pumpkin. Here's the stack as a raw, and I'm going to show you the raw versus my post process. Like I said before earlier, the skies were really overcast. So what I did is I de-emphasized the skies and I removed a few of the distractions from the image. Overall, for a first attempt at using this camera with one lens, walking around with no tripod, and just making some basic photographs, I've been impressed with the ZFC. Tell me what you think in a comment down below.
This was a one lens, one camera, no filters, no tripod challenge. In this video, I used the Nikon ZFC and the kit 16 to 50mm DX lens for all the photos, all the video. That's why you're seeing me sitting on a bench, because the camera right now is literally just a few feet away on a picnic table. It took me a while to find a place to record this where there wasn't a lot of background noise, hopefully, and hopefully there's not too much going on behind me, because this little park here in Parkville actually backs up to quite a few houses. Okay, so I'm going to leave the specs for this camera down below. There are so many other videos out there on YouTube that have already done spec and technical stuff. This video is more about how it feels in the hand, how it operates, how it works with my workflow, because what I'm really looking for is a simple, lightweight kit that I can just take out the door with me in the morning on a walk, or when we're out in the wilds like we like to go do, on a longer hike that doesn't weigh that much. This kit all in, with the kit lens and the body, is just about 1.2 pounds. Really light. So light that I didn't really feel it even with the strap around my neck the whole time. So my initial impressions of this camera being, this is the first day I've been able to get out and use it. I like the dial placements. It feels just like an old school film camera. So the other plus is it uses the Nikon menu system, which I'm already familiar with. One part of the Nikon menu system that I really love is the My Menu submenu. So as I was walking around photographing and videoing out here in the field today, I would go grab things from the menu system and throw them in the My Menu submenu when I wanted quicker access to them. And then I assigned the front function button to give me my menu, so I could easily get in and out of settings that I like to use, like bracketing capabilities, turning off the VR on it, which actually I found out it's actually in the I menu too. So that's another cool feature. I love that eye menu. I love the fact that I don't have to take the camera away from my eye to do anything in the menu system. That's one of the annoyances that I have with a non-mirrorless body right now. That and the weight. This thing is gorgeous at just 1.2 pounds.
So my initial field impressions, I like the feel, I like where everything's at, functions well. I just need to go back to the house, offload everything, and take a look at it. One more thing, I want you all to know that I paid my own hard-earned cash to rent this equipment. Nobody provided it free of charge to me. Nobody's getting any real kick out of this. But the company that I use frequently, I highly recommend. It's lensrentals.com, and I do have a refer a friend code down in the description below. What does that do for you? It gets you 25 bucks off your first rental with them. What does it do for me? It puts 25 bucks in my online account with them for a future rental. It's not a lot of money, doesn't do a lot, but it will help me do more gear style reviews, kind of like this one. I had fun, it got me out of the house. I found compositions that I probably normally wouldn't take, and so far, I'm liking this camera. I really like the sense of community that we've got going. I love the comments, the interactions, and I'd like to hear your opinions on lightweight mirrorless camera systems that you're using. Given the opportunity, I might go out and rent 1 or 2 more systems just to try it out and then do this challenge again with a different system. Let me know what you think about that in a comment down below. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you haven't yet done so, please hit that subscribe button, ding the bell for future notifications, and give me a big thumbs up if you like this video.